Hi students, welcome to my channel. Today in this session we are going to discuss some questions on biomolecule. This topic is from class 12. So let us go to our questions. So before going to that, if you are first time to my channel, please subscribe my channel and tap the bell icon. So the first question is, the presence or absence of hydroxyl group of which carbon atom of a sugar differentiate RNA and DNA? So here we have to know something about DNA and RNA. So these DNA and RNA are called nucleic acids. So in these nucleic acids, the DNA RNA consists of some bases. It consists of some bases and also sugars and also phosphoric acid. So here it consists of some bases, sugars and phosphoric acids. So the combination of these three is called nucleotide. The combination of these three is called nucleotide. Base, sugar and phosphoric acid. These three combines to form a nucleotide. Whereas the combination of base and sugar is called nucleoside. So you have to remember these points also. Sometimes he asks like this. So which of the following consists of nucleotide? So nucleotide consists of these three, whereas the nucleoside consists of base and sugar only. Okay. So for any nucleoside, if we add phosphoric acid, then it is nothing but nucleotide. So here the DNA and RNA consists of polyhelical nucleotides. That means many number of these nucleotides. It consists of a polyhelical nucleotide. So what are the bases present in DNA and RNA and what are the sugars, you have to know. So the bases are mainly classified into two types. One is purine bases, other one is pyrimidine bases. Purine bases and pyrimidine bases, basing on the structure of the molecules. So if the base belongs to, that means if it has similar structure like purine, then it is called purine base. If it has similar structure like pyrimidine, that is pyridine, then it is called pyrimidine base. So here you have to remember names only. So the purine bases are mainly two. One is adenine. The second one is guanine. Adenine and guanine belongs to purine bases, whereas cytosine, thymine and uracil, these three belongs to pyrimidine bases. So pyrimidine bases are these three, purine bases are these two. So these bases combines with sugars. So sugars are of again two types. In this DNA and RNA, there are mainly two sugars are there. One is ribose sugar, other one is deoxyribose sugar. So here the structure of sugars, that is ribose, here it is a pentose sugar. The ribose sugar is like this. Here it is a pentose sugar. So here this is the first carbon. Here OH and H are there. H and OH, H and OH, H and CH2OH is there. So here it is called beta D ribose. Beta D ribose. And next one, deoxyribose. It also a pentose sugar. The main difference between these two is deoxyribose. This is ribose and this is deoxyribose. So here one oxygen is eliminated. So the oxygen at the second carbon, the hydroxy group at the second carbon is replaced by hydrogen. So then we get deoxyribose. So the remaining are same. So like this, H and CH2OH. Okay, clear? So this is beta D 2-deoxyribose. 2-deoxyribose means here at the second carbon one oxygen is not there. So deoxyribose. So OH is replaced by hydrogen. So we get deoxyribose. So here generally DNA consists of deoxyribose sugar, whereas RNA consists of ribose sugar. DNA consists of deoxyribose sugar, whereas RNA consists of ribose sugar. And what are the bases present in DNA? So DNA consists of some bases, DNA bases and RNA bases. So in case of DNA, the bases present are adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. In case of RNA, adenine, uracil, guanine and cytosine. So these 4 bases are there. So here A is complementary base to thymine. So here adenine is complementary base to thymine, or thymine is complementary base to adenine. So here these two are binded with a double bond. So this double bond, here there exists a triple bond. So here also double bond, here also there exists triple bond. So here you have to remember these points. So DNA consists of the bases adenine, thymine, guanine and cytosine. RNA consists of adenine, uracil, guanine and cytosine. So in case of RNA, the thymine in DNA is replaced by uracil only. So here there exists double bond and here there exists triple bond. So these bonds are nothing but hydrogen bonds. Okay, clear? So this is about DNA and RNA, that is about nucleosides. So here the structure of DNA is like this. It exists as a polyhelical nucleotide. So this consists of a base attached to sugar and attached to phosphoric acid. Again sugar and base. So here also there exists some base, sugar and phosphoric acid, again sugar and again base. So here these two bases are complementary bases. Suppose if it is A, it should be thymine and there exists a double bond between these two. Okay, clear? So this is about the structure of DNA in briefly. So okay, let us answer the question one by one. So by knowing this concept, you can answer so many questions. Okay, so the first question is the presence or absence of hydroxyl group of which carbon atom sugar differentiate RNA and DNA. So in case of DNA, deoxyribose, in case of RNA, ribose. So what is the difference between these two sugars? So at the second carbon there exist 2 hydrogens here, here there exists 1 hydrogen and 1 OH. So the difference is only at the second carbon. So the differentiation is at the second carbon only. So the option will be A. Okay, and next one. So the lactose is a disaccharide of which of the following molecules? So here in the previous video we have discussed about monosaccharides, disaccharides and polysaccharides. I will give you the link in the description. So let us have a look on that concept. So lactose is a disaccharide of which of the following? So here it is. So this is disaccharides, this lactose. So lactose consists of beta D galactose and beta D glucose, and the point of linkage is between C1 and C4. But here he asked only what are the monomer units, that's all. So here he does not ask any point of linkage. So here galactose and glucose. So here the option will be this one, beta D glucose and beta D galactose. Okay, lactose is a disaccharide of beta D glucose and beta D galactose. So you have to remember all these. If you do not watch this video, you go through with the video. I will give you the link in the description. And next one. So the number of hydrogen bonds between guanine and cytosine and adenine and thymine in DNA. So in case of DNA, what are the number of bonds between base pairs? So here we have just discussed about the base pairs. Here are the base pairs adenine and thymine. So in case of, he asked about DNA. In case of DNA, AT, adenine and thymine, there exists double bond. Guanine and cytosine, triple bond. So here in case of guanine and cytosine, there exists triple bond. Adenine and thymine, double bond. So 3 and 2. So the option will be B. Okay, 3 and 2. And next one, alpha D and beta D glucopyranose are known as alpha D and beta D glucopyranoses. So here pyranose ring structure means it consists of 6-membered ring. So alpha D glucose and beta D glucose, they exist in pyranose ring structures. So here are the pyranose ring structures of glucose. So this is alpha D glucose. Here also this is beta D glucose. We changed just for our convenience in the previous video. So this is beta D glucose. That means here OH should be here and H should be here. Here H and OH. So this is beta D glucose. This is alpha D glucose. So what is the major difference between these two? Here the OH is present at the right hand side. Here the OH is present at the left hand side. Okay. So in case of alpha, the OH is present at the right hand side. In case of beta, the OH is present at the left hand side. So here there exists non-superimposable mirror image relationship at the first carbon only. This is the first carbon. Okay. So if there exists any non-superimposable mirror image relationship at the first carbon, then those isomers are called anomers. Okay. Here these are the anomers. So if there exists any non-superimposable mirror image relationship at the first carbon, then those are called anomers. So we have discussed another one. If there exists any non-superimposable mirror images relationship at least one carbon atom. Here if you consider glucose and mannose, there exists non-superimposable mirror image relationship at the second carbon. The remaining is same. There exists only mirror image at the second carbon. If there exists non-superimposable mirror image relationship at least one carbon, whatever it may be, but not first carbon, at the any one of the carbons, then it is called epimers. So these two are epimers. Glucose and mannose are epimers, whereas alpha D glucose and beta D glucose pyranoses exist as ionomers because there exists non-superimposable mirror image relationship at the first carbon only. Okay, clear? If there exists the relation at the first carbon, those are called anomers. If there exists the non-superimposable mirror image relationship at the any one carbon that is other than first carbon, then those are called epimers. Okay, clear? Next one. The AT and GC ratio in human beings is, so here AT base pairs, adenosine and thymine, and GC base pairs. So the ratio is always 1.52. You have to remember this point. So the ratio of adenine thymine bases and guanine cytosine base pairs is always 1.52 in human beings. Next one. Which of the following polysaccharides is consisting of beta glycosidic linkage? Okay, glycosidic linkage. So what is meant by glycosidic linkage? So here there exists some glycosidic linkage between two monosaccharides. So in case of sucrose, there exists a glycosidic linkage. So this is glycosidic linkage. So here he asked to predict the polysaccharide which consists of beta glycosidic linkage. So here the polysaccharides are of mainly three types: starch, cellulose and glycogen. In case of starch, amylase and amylopectin are there. So here there exists alpha D glucose. The point of linkage is between C1 and C4. In case of this one, the point of linkage is C1 and C4 and the branching will take place. In case of amylopectin, there exists branching. So in case of cellulose, beta D glucose moieties are there. All are beta D glucose moieties and there exists a point of linkage between C1 and C4. So here, due to presence of this beta D glucoses, so there exists this one beta glycosidic linkage is there. Okay, so in case of cellulose, there exists beta glycosidic linkage. In case of starch, there exists alpha glycosidic linkage. Okay, clear? Since these are alpha molecules, alpha glucoses, so there exists alpha glycosidic linkage. Since these are beta glucose molecules, there exists beta glycosidic linkage. Okay, so the option will be cellulose. And next one. So here glucose upon treatment with bromine water produces Y, whereas upon treatment with HI produces X. So what are X and Y? So here treatment with bromine water means this is mild oxidizing agent. So glucose upon oxidation with mild oxidizing agent, we produce gluconic acid. Okay, here is the glucose. So this is the structure of glucose. You have to write according to their configuration. So this is the structure of glucose. So glucose upon oxidation with bromine water, so this aldehyde group will convert into COOH only. So the remaining will be same. So this is called gluconic acid. Gluconic acid. So if you convert, that means if you oxidize this with HNO3, so the CHO group will be oxidized to COOH, and this primary alcohol also oxidized to acid group. Since in presence of strong acid, the primary alcohol also oxidizes to form acid. Okay, so this is called saccharic acid. Saccharic acid. So here glucose upon oxidation under mild condition produces gluconic acid. So here only aldehyde group oxidized to acid. The remaining is same. CH2OH will be there. So here in presence of strong acid, it converts into saccharic acid. Okay, so here he asked to convert into in presence of bromine. It is mild oxidizing agent, so we can produce, this is gluconic acid. And next one, upon treatment with HI. So glucose upon treatment with HI, it produces N-hexane. N-hexane. So this is evidence for existence of open chain structure. That means all the carbons are present in straight chain. So the evidence for the presence of 6 carbon atoms in straight chain is upon treatment with HI, it produces N-hexane. So glucose upon treatment with HA produces N-hexane. This N-hexane means 6 carbon atoms are present in straight chain. That's why glucose may also consist of 6 carbon atoms in straight chain. Okay. So here the answer will be N-hexane and gluconic acid. So this is A. And next one. So which of the following is an L amino acid? So here he asked to predict the configuration, L configuration. So we have to check the RS configuration. So here it is the L configuration. That means we have to convert into S configuration. So here we have to predict RS configuration. So here we have to give numbering Kohn-Ingold-Prelong's rules. According to Kohn-Ingold-Prelong's rules, we have to assign numbering. So I made a video on this RS configuration also. So I will give you the link in the description. You go through with that link also. So here first option, second one, and here these two are hydrogens. So that's why this does not exhibit any isomerism. Okay, this does not exhibit any optical isomerism. And next one. So this is first option, second one, and here CH3, R means alkyl group, and this will become lowest preferred element. So the lowest preferred element should always kept at the vertical position. So if not so, we have to invert the configuration. So here 1, 2, 3, this is in the clockwise direction. So if it is clockwise direction, generally it is R, but here the lowest preferred element is present at the horizontal position. We have to invert into or invert it. So R means the configuration will be S here. So here he asked to check whether it is L or S. So here it is S. So that's why it is the correct option. So let us check these two also. So here the first option nitrogen, second option carbon, and third option alkyl group, because here COO is there. So that's why it will become second option. This is fourth one. So 1, 2, 3. So here it is in anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise means S configuration, but the hydrogen is present at the horizontal position. So we have to invert. So this is R configuration. Okay, and next this one, nitrogen, carbon along with oxygen. That's why it will become second preference, and third one and fourth one. So here 1, 2, 3. Clockwise direction. Here it is in clockwise direction, and the hydrogen is present at the vertical position, that is at the bottom position. So that's why we should not invert the configuration. So we have to write as it is. So that is, here it is R. So it is also R configuration. So the S configuration is this one only. Okay, clear? Next one. So match the following. Sucrose. Sucrose is a disaccharide which consists of 2 monomer units, glucose and fructose. And lactose. So lactose consists of glucose and galactose, you know very well. And maltose consists of 2 moieties of glucose. And raffinose. Raffinose consists of 3 moieties. You have to remember this one, raffinose. So raffinose is a trisaccharide which consists of 3 moieties. One is glucose, fructose, and galactose also. So raffinose is an example of trisaccharide. Remember carefully, this is an example of trisaccharide. And another one is tetrasaccharide. Tetrasaccharide. The another example for tetrasaccharide is stachyose. Stachyose is an example of tetrasaccharide which consists of 4 monomer units. Okay, clear? Remember carefully. And next one. Glucose fails to react with. So glucose does not react with which of the following? So glucose reacts with phenyl hydrogen, you know very well. Glucose reacts with 3 moles of phenyl hydrogen to form glucosazone. Remember carefully. Glucose reacts with 3 moles. How many moles? He asks sometimes like that. Glucose reacts with how many moles of phenyl hydrogen to produce glucosazone? That means 3 moles only. So here it reacts with phenyl hydrogen. And glucose does not react with sodium bisulfite. And glucose reacts with Tollens reagent and also Fehling's reagent. Since glucose is a reducing sugar, it reacts with both Tollens reagent and Fehling's reagent. So glucose does not react with sodium bisulfite. And next one. Choose the correct statement from the following. So all amino acids have a common isoelectric point. All amino acids have a common isoelectric point. No, it is not true, because different amino acids will have different isoelectric point. Acidic amino acids will have one value of pH. That means if the pH is greater than isoelectric point, means the pH at which the amino acid solution does not tend towards any one of the electrodes in presence of by passing electricity. So here it does not possess any common isoelectric point. Next, all naturally, so that's why it is not a correct statement. All naturally occurring alpha amino acids are optically active except glycine. So this is correct, because glycine is not optically active. So this is glycine, CH2 and NH2. This is glycine. This does not consist of any chiral carbon. So here this carbon consists of 2 hydrogens only. So that's why this is not optically active. This does not consist of any chiral carbon. So this is not optically active. But remaining all are optically active. So the next one is alanine. So this is alanine. So alanine is optically active due to presence of this chiral carbon. Okay, remaining all are optically active, and all naturally occurring amino acids are generally levorotatory molecules. Remember carefully, all naturally occurring amino acids are levorotatory molecules. So sometimes he asked like this also. Okay, so only this glycine, except glycine, all exhibits optical isomerism. So this is correct statement. And at pH 0, all amino acids are present as their anions. pH 0 means it does not behave as either acidic amino acid or basic amino acid. So that means this is not correct. Okay. In strongly basic solution, all amino acids are present in their cations. In strongly basic solution, generally amino acid exists as zwitterion. So here this H plus goes to this nitrogen, then it becomes CH3, CH and NH3 plus and COO minus. So this is called zwitterion nature. So in this zwitterion nature, suppose if the strongly basic solution is there, so strongly basic solution means base. Here the acidic character of this zwitterion is due to presence of NH3 plus, and the basic character is due to presence of COO minus. So in case of basic solution, the base reacts with this NH3 plus. So that means there exists some anion here. Base reacts with NH3 plus, so there exists anion, but he gave there exists cation. So this is also wrong statement. So the correct option is this one, B. So all naturally occurring alpha amino acids are optically active except glycine. Okay. So thank you. Like the session, share the session and subscribe to my channel, and please comment me the answer in the answer to my question. So this is the question of the day. What type of bonds are present between base pairs of DNA and RNA? So in case of DNA and RNA, there exists some base pairs AT and GC. So in between A and T, there exists adenosine and thymine, there exists double bond. In between GC, there exists triple bond. So this bond is, which type of bond is present between these base pairs? So please comment me the answer in the comment box. Okay, thank you.